Greetings, EGR 180 students. This is the SolidWorks tutorial for Unit 4 on drawings. I know you're very excited to do one. So I'm just going to show you a couple things here. I'm going to start with New, got a drawing selected, click OK. I'm going to click our size. We're going to stick with ANSI Landscape here. And comes up with a blank drawing screen, nothing in here. Model view, first thing it's going to ask you to do is, hey, let's get some stuff in here that we can load up for you here. So we're going to go find something, and let me see where I was. There we go. We're going to take the flat bar 3 hole. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over here and click Create Multiple Views, and I want an ISO and a top and a front and a side. Where's my front? There it is. And notice they've all been ghosted over here. They're all ready to go. Literally, as soon as I click this, boink, there's my drawing. This is, for folks like me that have been drafting for a long time, this kind of makes me crazy because it's almost too easy. Also notice that when you click on one of these things, you get this highlighted little box around it. That lets you move it. So I can grab this and move it, and notice that all the articles of it are tied together and kind of move together. So you're going to move this around so that you can get your dimensions in there and it looks nice and neat. Right, so love that drawing view. Next thing to do is go into Annotation, click on Model Items, and this will allow us to bring our dimensions in here. You're going to go over to here. Instead of a selected feature, make sure you select Entire Model, and then click Yes, and ugh. Kind of crazy that all this stuff comes in here for you automatically. Now notice it doesn't look good. All right, so they're kind of counting on you to move this stuff around so that it looks nice and neat. And I'm just going to do that right now so it looks a little bit better. Right, now notice there are some dimensions that aren't here. That's because those mechanical engineers pretty much think you can figure out what's going on from just this. The front view, of course, is always supposed to be the most explicit view of the drawing. I would actually like to add a couple more. Personally, I would dimension this, even though you can figure it out from the drawing. That's nice overall. And we also maybe would like to know what the overall here. Now see, if this is a 0.25 radius, that means this whole thing is a ½ inch. But, you know, what's wrong with doing that? The only other thing that we're missing here, though, is that, which is our thickness, which is 0.06 there. And I can say I love that. And for the most part, this is fully dimensioned. Really kind of crazy easy. Notice, though, I am in edit sheet mode. As soon as I go to edit sheet format, let me show you this. If I try and come over here and like put text in the title box, I can't. I have to go into edit sheet mode. I go down to sheet. I do that, and there you go. Now I'm in here and I can play with stuff. Now I don't actually want this right here. I'd really prefer to move that up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this. And we're going to call it drawing 101-6 and say we love it. And now I can come in here and enter flat bar 3 hole. And that's nice. And here again I can change my fonts. If it's a really long name, I can make it smaller or larger with that right there. But for the most part, that's good to go. And maybe this is revision A. And I can go into any of these boxes and add stuff. I can change things. You'll do that with your exercise. But the idea here is that this stuff can only be changed when you're in edit sheet format. So if I come down here, now I can switch back to edit sheets, and I can play with everything. And again, I can move this stuff. This is all active, but again, this is not. So those are the two layers to a drawing. The sheet, which is the goodies out here, sheet format, which is all this kind of stuff. As usual, when you come in, you need to make sure you select your units, the amount of precision you want. You can do that here as well. You come up and say, really, I'd prefer to have that. No, I don't need 4. That's a bit much. Let's go with 3 and say, yeah. And everything will change here. So there you go. There is some rather tedious stuff with moving some of these things around. Again, dimensions should be centered. For the most part, you don't want any dimensions inside the part unless you absolutely have to. The book will go through things like, geez, do you really need this view? Well, maybe you don't because you've got everything here. But I mean, again, this is me talking my personal preference and not the actual technical drafting way to do it. I'd prefer all these views, and I like the extra dimensions because you know what? I don't have to work for a dimension. Just give it to me, will you? Give me a break. All right, so play with drawings. They're pretty simple. Just remember, please, when you get ready to save it, what are you going to do? You're going to go down and do our good friend Pack and Go. Now notice when I click this here, look what comes up. My drawing and my part, right? Again, if you don't do that, again, remember to click Save to Zip File, and you're going to put this somewhere on your desktop or on a zip drive or whatever. If you don't Pack and Go this, it's going to send me your drawing without your part, and I won't be able to open it, which will result in a 0 grade for you, and we don't want that to happen. Okay, so that's all there is to drawings. Again, on the CSWA, there are only 3 questions. The handout that I've provided will actually answer most of your questions for you on that exam. And if you don't know this by now, I think I've mentioned it before, the CSWA is an open book test. The thing is, if you have to grind through your book to find something, you're probably taking too much time and it's not going to help. But if you can't find something in drawing, you can look in your books or the handouts that I've given you. Okay, that's all for now. Hope you have fun with drawings. Email me with any questions. And as always, thanks for watching.